When most people think about warfare between Native American tribes and the United States Army during the 19th century, they often imagine a technologically superior military force inevitably conquering primitive warriors. This narrative, perpetuated by Hollywood films and simplified textbooks, fundamentally misrepresents the military realities of the American frontier. The truth reveals a far more complex and remarkable story. Native American warriors possessed tactical advantages, strategic knowledge, and combat skills that repeatedly outmatched the conventional warfare methods of the United States Army. The superior mobility of Native American forces represented perhaps their greatest tactical advantage. While Army units moved with heavy supply wagons, artillery pieces, and cumbersome equipment that dictated their pace and routes, Native warriors traveled light and fast. Mounted warriors could cover vast distances in a single day, striking unexpectedly and disappearing before conventional forces could respond. This mobility advantage transformed every engagement into a chess match where Native forces controlled tempo and positioning. Consider the masterful guerrilla tactics employed by leaders like Geronimo and Crazy Horse. These warriors understood that direct confrontation with larger, better-equipped forces spelled defeat. Instead, they developed sophisticated hit-and-run strategies, ambush techniques, and psychological warfare that demoralized enemy troops. Army soldiers, trained for European-style battlefield formations and conventional sieges, found themselves woefully unprepared for this adaptive style of combat. The intimate knowledge Native warriors possessed of their territorial landscapes provided an insurmountable intelligence advantage. Every canyon, water source, game trail, and seasonal change was encoded in their tactical thinking. Army units, dependent on unreliable maps and unfamiliar guides, frequently found themselves lost, exposed, or trapped in terrain that their opponents knew intimately. This geographical mastery allowed smaller Native forces to consistently outmaneuver larger Army contingents. Logistical challenges plagued Army operations throughout the frontier wars. Supply lines stretched across hundreds of miles of hostile territory, making resupply missions dangerous and unreliable. Army units required constant provisioning of food, ammunition, medical supplies, and equipment maintenance. Native warriors, by contrast, could live off the land, repair their weapons with available materials, and sustain combat operations with minimal external support. This self-sufficiency created operational flexibility that Army commanders could never match. The individual combat skills of Native warriors far exceeded those of typical Army recruits. From childhood, Native American cultures emphasized hunting, tracking, marksmanship, and survival skills that directly translated to combat effectiveness. Many Army soldiers were recent immigrants or urban dwellers with little outdoor experience and minimal military training. The average Native warrior possessed decades of experience reading terrain, moving silently, and making precise shots under pressure. Weather and environmental conditions that incapacitated Army units often provided tactical opportunities for Native forces. Winter campaigns that devastated Army morale and effectiveness were routine operating conditions for warriors accustomed to harsh climates. Desert heat, mountain altitude, and seasonal flooding presented obstacles that Army logistics could not overcome but that Native knowledge could exploit. Perhaps most significantly, Native warriors fought with a psychological intensity that conventional soldiers rarely matched. They defended their homelands, families, and way of life with desperate courage. Army soldiers, often fighting for distant political objectives they barely understood, could not sustain the same level of commitment during prolonged campaigns. The eventual defeat of Native American resistance resulted not from superior military tactics or individual combat skills, but from overwhelming population advantages, industrial capacity, and systematic destruction of food sources and civilian populations. The United States Army succeeded through attrition and resource exhaustion rather than battlefield superiority. Recognition of these military realities provides a more accurate understanding of American frontier history and honors the remarkable tactical achievements of Native American warriors who, despite impossible odds, demonstrated consistent battlefield superiority over conventional forces.